In 2025, the UK experienced its warmest summer on record according to the Met Office, which was the result of 4 heatwaves. During the first heatwave in June, the warmest areas saw temperatures of 33 degrees or more. When it's dry for a long time, the soil on the surface forms a dense crust which makes it harder for rain to soak in. The second heatwave was warmer in the south than in the north, and intense rain during thunderstorms at the end caused flash flooding in some places. In July, a third heatwave saw Scotland, Northern Ireland and England get the warmest weather of the year before a fourth heatwave came in August. We went to Exmouth during the third heatwave, and by this stage you could see just how much more the south was affected than the north. Everything further south of the Midlands gradually got drier and browner. The Met Office record shows that the UK has had 84% of its normal rainfall, with the northwest being wetter than the south. Scientists have found that a future summer as hot or warmer than 2025 is 70 times more likely than in a natural climate without pollution. The highest recorded temperature of the summer was 35.8 degrees Celsius in Kent at the beginning of July. While temperatures higher than this have been recorded before in the UK, the difference this time was how long-lasting and widespread the heat waves were. Something I noticed while travelling is that a lot of our farmland doesn't offer much shelter in the form of shade from strong sunlight for animals, so they were all piling up in whatever shade they could find from trees at the edge of their fields. Even birds were panting like dogs in the extreme heat. Plants need a good balance of sunlight and rain to survive. When they don't get enough rain, they go brown and dry out. If they get too much rain, they drown and rot. These are our late potatoes, which we grew in Cumbria, and this is a golf ball which I'm using to show the size of them on camera. These are some of the bigger ones that we've had this year, and they didn't really get much bigger than that. These are about the last of the early potatoes which we grew in Northumberland with the same golf ball that I used earlier. The reason why they are this small is because of the lack of rain. It also shows that it was drier in the first heat waves in the northeast. Also, none of the potato plants we grew this year got as far as flowering because of the lack of rain. River and lake levels became scarily low in the driest parts, and some smaller streams dried up completely. Hosepipe bans were enforced to the worst affected areas to avoid using too much water. If river and lake levels dry out too much, it can become dangerous for fish and other aquatic life. It could get to the point where they could become too shallow to survive in, and it can become harder to find water for growing food and raising livestock. Currently, it feels to me like there's a really big imbalance in the weather system, particularly during the summer months. It's either too wet or too hot. This is just me sharing my own thoughts, but I feel like at some point, if things carry on how they are, we will end up in one of the extremes. One thing that gets to me, especially when we experience heat waves, is the way that we tend to view sunny weather as being good and the rain as being bad. We may not always like the rain, but what we really need is a good balance of both, as they are both good and important in their own way. The heat on its own doesn't mean it's just summer or just the weather, particularly when it's not naturally something we would experience. The warmth is pleasant and it's nice to be able to go to the beach, but the temperature isn't supposed to be breaking the records we're seeing today like in sports competitions. It's proven science of how everything reacts together in the atmosphere. We should learn from our mistakes and work together to help the climate while it's reversible. After all, this is a global event and we're all doing it for our future survival.